Hello guys, welcome back to another car talk. Today I wanted to talk about regret because it's something I've been struggling with lately. I say struggling kind of lightly because how I view regret is, yeah, sure. There's definitely some events in my life where if I had the opportunity to go back in time, maybe I would change them. But at the same time, probably not. And here's why. Because a lot of times, those things that happen in your past, those mistakes that you made, you do end up learning the most. I mean, as they say, life is the greatest teacher. It really is. Most of the times that I've learned the most was from the mistakes, no matter how great or how small. There is, I feel like, if there was one instance where I guess I regret or I would change, would be moving out. I guess we'll use that for the example. Me moving out. I guess I forget. I do. If I would go back in time, I would not move out. But if I look back on that time period, I moved out because one, I really, really wanted to leave my mom's house. My mom's house was getting worse and worse. I did not want to be there any longer, so I wanted to move out. That was my main motivation to do that. So I can't exactly beat myself up for wanting to move out. And obviously, I wasn't aware of those people's financial situations. I thought they were a lot better off than what they actually were. They made it seem like they were way better off. And you can't really beat yourself up for it, for not knowing. Obviously, now I know, but I didn't know back then. So that's why I did it. You know what I mean? I don't know everybody's situations, but I guess look at a situation that you regret, right? And look at, well, what did you know at that time? What was the intention that you made that decision? And can you forgive yourself for making that decision? If not, you gotta try hard. Because one thing, I don't know, I've seen regret take people down on a very dark path. I mean, one example is my mom. My mom constantly complains about things that she regrets, and it's such a dark path that I don't want to go down. You know what I mean? It's so miserable. So I try my best not to really look so much on the past. What you can use the past for is as you get older, and I've noticed it myself, you know, even as I get older, when I look back, I can see like people who were more fake than others, and that I shouldn't have hanged around with, that weren't really true friends, which that actually, I'll get into a different topic, who I view now as a friend, because even that has changed a lot, like my definition on who a real actual friend is. But let's get back on topic to regret. It is something that, you know, it's hard not to think about the past. As much, you gotta try your hardest not to, because it really doesn't get you anywhere. Constantly dwelling on the past, it's not going to improve your future. It's not going to make your present any better. I mean, if you could look at the past as learning experiences on what to look for from the future to not make that same mistake, which is honestly what I do now. I kind of look at my past and see, like, oh, you know, was this person really... You just look at different things. Excuse me. I had Chipotle and I'm just burping storm right now. I think that's the best way to tackle it. On the bright side, look at this beautiful temperature right now. It is a whopping like 50 degrees. The snow is starting to melt. Man, I miss it. This winter was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. So to finally get like 50-degree weather again, it's so nice. Sorry, today's just gorgeous, so I just had to show. But yeah, try your best. Obviously, I do understand. I've definitely haven't made decisions that have been super impactful on my life. I know some people make really big decisions that, you know, you choose the wrong decision, it could affect your whole life. I am aware of that. So someone's situation might be completely different than just me moving out with the wrong people, for example. That it could be really difficult to just move on from. I am aware of that. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you really can't do anything about it, which is the sucky part. You can't do anything about it. You just kind of have to live with the choices that you made. Because, I mean, the longer it takes for you to move on, the worse. I've just seen regret take people down a very dark path. So try your best not to. Really, it's difficult. But like I said earlier, just you didn't know at the time. You don't know when you make those decisions. Like, obviously, you can't see the future. So you made that decision with the information you had, and that is the outcome that happened, whether it's good or bad. But what I have learned is that life can really change super quick, whether it's good or bad, based on choices. It is pretty insane, like how much can happen in the span of a few months, a few years, a year. It really is insane. So let's say something really bad happened, right? There is the chance that something really good could happen right after. I mean, I'll continue using myself for example. So basically, when we'll take moving out, because that was the biggest waste, I guess, of time that I did. I moved out, right? I spent probably from that 3 months that I lived there, I blew probably a good $6-7 grand from paying first rent to paying furniture to paying to having a cover for everyone else, then shit that happened while we moved there. It was such a fiasco, and I left that with basically no money left. It was pretty bad. On top of then having to go to court, possibly having to pay the back rent that those guys didn't do. And it was a very stressful time. But like I said, stuff could change for the bad very quickly, but very good very quickly. Now, ever since I moved back, I've done this YouTube channel. I've actually been consistent with the YouTube channel. I've been practicing real estate. I basically got my money back and now is getting more money. And my monthly costs have gone down dramatically. So all that happened from, I had basically 4 months of just shit going wrong to then 4 months of just shit going right. That's why I don't really dwell on the past so much, because so much can happen right after that you can't really dwell. You gotta, take what happened, learn from it, apply it to the future so you don't make that same mistake. You become more experienced out of it, and then you try to turn it into a positive. And I think that's where I'll end off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this car talk. It was a little more of a serious tone today. It's just been something that's been on my mind a lot, so I wanted to talk about it. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.